You certainly get a different feeling when you hold an expensive instrument as opposed to an affordable one. Yeah, the feeling of disappointment over having spent 4 times more money for the same sound.
Yeah, for confirmation on that theory, you should just check out the video I did with this Harley Benton Les Paul clone, because I shot it out against a $12,000 Gibson in a blind test. And yeah, the results are very interesting. I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah, the music is just a very small part of the equation. Good morning. Hope you're having a hell of a weekend. I just want to give you a heads up. I am doing my Black Friday sale of the Home Studio Cheat Code this weekend. So if you want to get your hands on my morning wood, I'm going to have details on that in just a couple of minutes. Anyway, this show is about you, not about me. So let's get to your comments and questions right now.
Been trying to tell bands the music is 20% or less of their concerns. Nobody wants to believe me. They also apparently don't understand they need to book shows that aren't in their hometown or less than an hour away. At least 2 bands here could make it. One refuses to leave town and the other just changed their sound. Their original sound is becoming big again, but no, they want to feel like tough guys all of a sudden and go heavy. So, what about the guy with the pop punk voice that doesn't play an instrument? Idiots! Especially when pop punk is popular again.
Nobody could ever accuse musicians of being smart. The amount of bands I've had come in and out of this studio that have sabotaged their own careers before they even got started has been pretty much limitless. But this line here, this is the important line. Been trying to tell bands the music is 20% or less of their concerns. I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah, the music is just a very small part of the equation. It's like just trying to wrangle bands to do band photos can be a gigantic pain in the ass. Oh, it should just be about the music. It's like, do you want people to find out about your band? How are they going to do that? Are they just going to put your disc on because somebody said so? Chances are the first interaction they're going to have with your band is with a still image. So make time to take fucking pictures, and then make time to do music videos, and then make time to promote your product as well. My very good friend Trey Xavier is going through that with his band In Virtue right now. He's just going through the whole promotional arc of releasing a record, and it's a lot more work than you would think. Yes, we're all here for the music, but you need to give people a means to discover your band.
The funny thing is, those Spider amps sound awesome if you change the speaker. Isn't it ironic, don't you think?
I'm gonna say, yeah, maybe not so much. The Spiders, the front end on them are pretty terrible too. If you watch the video I did about a week ago, where I shot out the Spider valve versus the Soldano, turns out the power section in those Spider valves are pretty freaking amazing, and you can get them dirt cheap. All you gotta do is get a Vailton pedal and drop that into the effects loop, and then you're golden. You're gonna get some really great sounds. Just don't use any of the Line 6 part of that amp, because it doesn't matter if you change the speaker or not. It's one of those you can't polish a turd situations. Sure, you can roll it in glitter, but it's still gonna stink like shit.
Wow, how is this possible?
Oh, you're back on the $183 tube amp that will rival a Soldano. And that was on the Valve King. Actually, that's the insane thing. Once you unplug the shitty speaker that came with the Valve King and plug it in and do something decent, yeah, you know what? Turns out that is an absolutely fucking amazing amp. That amp punches way above its price tag. And yeah, all you got to do is just change the speaker, and it sounds shockingly very close to the Soldano. But these are musicians we're talking about, and trying to explain the importance of a speaker to them is like trying to explain the importance of band photos to them. They just don't want to listen. Next up, everybody's favorite part of the show, the Butthurt of the Week. Roll the clip.
I just don't get this guy. He has a crappy home studio, has never done a major record in his life, and has zero musical talent or knowledge. Yes, I've heard some of his recordings, and they sound like every other bedroom record. Why the hell does anyone listen to this guy's idiocy? He can't, so he criticizes. Almost like those who can't teach.
You know what, Craig? You're absolutely right. I can't play guitar like Steve Vai. And I haven't mixed a Taylor Swift record. And I definitely don't work in a multi-million-dollar studio with gold-plated lava lamps and a wall full of Grammy Awards. And that is exactly why I put together the Home Studio Cheat Code. Because it turns out you don't need $5,000 worth of plugins and some guru whispering about vibe to get a professional sounding mix. You need technique. You need a plan. And that's exactly what this course gives you. Everything you need to stop guessing and start getting real results. So get your copy of the Home Studio Cheat Code and get both the basic and advanced mixing with free plugins courses, plus 4 live coaching calls with me, 6 amp captures including the Morningwood, the Bong Ripper, and the Love Rocket 3000, plus my custom IRs including a real 1977 Celestion Blackback, and lifetime access to any new captures or IRs that I make in the future. All of it is just $147 until Monday night. And if you already bought it, you get the new advanced course for absolutely free. So if you've ever been told that you need industry credentials before your mixes can sound good, yeah, screw that. You don't need a pedigree, you need a process. And I will give you mine. Grab the Home Studio Cheat Code and get your hands on my Morningwood while you still can.
2 years ago, is he still around? I love that Monday streams where he listened and reacted. What happened?
Hey Marcus, yeah, that must have come up in your feed or something like that. What happened was my wife had a stroke, so I've been severely limited in the time I can put into creating content. And lately, you know, it's been maybe 1 video a week, 2 maximum, if I'm lucky. Because most of the time I'm driving my wife to medical appointments to help her recover. Now, I would love to bring that mix review show back at some point, but right now I just don't have the time because I'm concentrating on helping my wife. However, I am doing some very limited online classes with the Home Studio Cheat Code, because if you get that course, you get 4 group calls with me where I help you deconstruct mixes, because we're all working with the same files and whatnot, and it's been extremely helpful to my students. And that's the thing, you know, those live streams I would do where I'd review everybody's songs, those would take all day. That would be 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours at night. Right now with the Home Studio Cheat Code, I'm doing 1 hour on Monday nights with a limited class size. Everybody's got the same files, everybody's working with the same mix, and I can teach people way more effectively that way. So if you're interested in that, grab the Home Studio Cheat Code because it's on sale now. You don't want to miss it. The sale's going to end tomorrow night. Links in the description below.
Where can I find the Morningwood? I can't find it on Tone Hunt.
Oh, this Morningwood? Yeah, that's available exclusively to everybody who got the Home Studio Cheat Code, along with 5 other of my amps and my entire Impulse Response collection as well. Now, if you do want some free stuff, I do have my Stormblade amp. It's out there. That's up for grabs for absolutely free. But if you want the Morningwood, yeah, you got to get the course.
I'm a UPS driver. Sometimes our drivers are stupid. It was probably across the road or something.
Hey, Nick, thanks so much for writing in. You know what? You called it. My UPS driver actually delivered it up the street because he added 100 to the street address. I guess numbers are hard. Probably a drummer.
This video is a great explanation of what I really like about this channel. Back in 2019, when I was starting following Glenn, the sound quality of his videos was so good that made me think about all the other creators that claimed this is how to improve your tone, but they sounded like they were inside a tin can. Thank you, Glenn, for your generosity and sharing all your knowledge with us. Hope your partner is feeling better too. Cheers from the Global South.
Oh, thank you very much for writing in. I appreciate that. Yeah, she's doing better. There's still a lot of appointments I've got to drive her to and whatnot, but yeah, she is starting to make some serious improvements, which is freaking amazing. Now, that is the point. I mean, when I first started doing my videos, even back in 2014, people were like, wow, why do your videos look and sound so good? And I'm like, well, I've got a diploma in media arts. That's why. And I went to recording school, so that did help. Or you'd see a lot of guitar videos like this where, you know, the player would be playing, but they wouldn't mute their vocal mic. And yeah, that doesn't sound so good. So I've always made it my mission to try and deliver the best possible quality audio because honestly, that's the important part. It's way more important than the video. So if you want to do some kind of social media content, just keep that in mind.
What about some IRs for the Carnivore speakers with the Roswell cab mic and SM57?
Yes, they're coming, but those are going to be exclusive for, you got it, people who have the Home Studio Cheat Code. So yeah, if you want to get those, they're coming. All you got to do is get your copy today.
Does anyone know where the results of the blind test were revealed? Thanks in advance.
Parth, yes, I did a whole follow-up video for that. It's called PRS Just Lost to a $269 budget guitar. Yeah, check that video out. It was a lot of fun. We took the blind test on the road. We went to Germany. We went to 42 Gear Street, and I had a whole bunch of so-called tone experts give their opinions, and it was interesting to say the least. It was great to get, you know, the viewers' responses, but it was great to get, you know, these creators' responses as well as gear manufacturers and get their favorites, because once you take the labels away, once you take the visual away, and you're only using your ears, suddenly things change quite a bit.
Exactly what is the point of the historic pickups costing so much when people have already produced clones of those pickups long ago, which cost way less? Is it really just for Gibson fans with too much money?
I think it was P.T. Barnum who said there's a sucker born every minute.
Hey Glenn, I have an old Nikon DSLR camera, 5200 if I recall right. Just wondering if you have any old lenses for that kind laying around. Let me know if you do and if you want to sell some to me.
Actually, I have a whole set of Nikon primes, like the old AI primes from the film camera days, and they're brilliant. And yeah, you can have them when you pry them from my cold, dead hands. Never giving those up. I've got the 20mm f4 that's super compact and super wide. It's just freaking amazing. And I've got the 135 3.5 as well. I've nicknamed that my Panavision lens because that's just got a certain look to it that I think is really freaking wicked. The great thing is about old Nikon glass, you can find a ton of it out there on eBay for really not that much money. You just got to be willing to shoot with manual focus. But fortunately, we've got things like focus peaking, which will help. Now, those lenses are pretty much useless if you're doing, producing your own content. You're better off relying on autofocus lenses that'll track and that kind of thing, like this Panasonic S1 II, which is doing a pretty decent job. I don't think it's quite as good as my Sony FX3, but when we circle back to the audio thing, this absolutely destroys the Sony. So here's hoping Sony gets their shit together with their next iteration of the FX3. Hopefully we get 4 channels line level, and hopefully we get it in 32-bit as well. But right now, when it comes to sound, Panasonic is just crushing it.
Glad, what would you recommend for a cheap camera for somebody starting out?
Honestly, I think the little Canon M50 is probably what you're looking for. I think it's like an APS-C style camera, but the autofocus on it's pretty good. The colors are pretty good. I remember, the first GitCon, I think Leo Maccarelli, however the hell we pronounce his last name. My apologies, Leo. The guy from Frog Leap, he did a cover there and he was shooting on just one of those. And that was a great thing. He wasn't worried about his camera, what it was going to do. He was just pointing it and being creative. And I think for a lot of people, that's exactly the kind of camera you're going to want to use. Another one I'd recommend is maybe get your hands on a used GH5 or something like that. Not the greatest video autofocus in the world, but they're very, very creator friendly. I shot with the show with one for years and years and years, and it was really fantastic for helping me get my job done. All right, that's it for this episode. Hopefully I could be helpful to somebody out there. Hopefully some of those questions helped you as well. And just one more reminder here, because why not beat a dead horse? The Home Studio cheat code is on sale till end of day tomorrow. So if you want to get your hands on my Morningwood, now's the time. Links in the description below. I'll see you next time.